Welcome to Crypto Daily. My name is Dustin Knaus, and be sure to follow our show wherever you listen to podcasts, and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. Well, let's start by getting the potentially bad news out of the way. It's expected that we'll see more regulations and some crackdowns coming out of the UK this year. But more on the advertising front. MPs and campaigners are wanting to see more regulation in how brands advertise and what they are allowed to say to attract new investors. Right now, there is no agency set up to regulate cryptocurrency, and some critics compare it to gambling. Conservative MP Richard Holden was quoted saying, "It is the Wild West. This gray area between highly leveraged financial investments on the one hand, and these products which could quite easily and sensibly be considered to be gambling, there needs to be a clear differentiation there in order to protect the people." And Matt Zarb-Cousin, a former campaigner for gambling protection, said, "It is one thing for football clubs to market gambling to fans, which could lead people to destroying their lives as a consequence, but I think it's on another level even worse to be offering a way into cryptocurrency through the pretense of empowering them in effectively and completely unregulated areas. There's clearly massive issues that are being stored up." A spokesman for the Treasury responded by saying, "We are taking action to protect consumers in response to the development of certain crypto assets. This includes consulting on proposals to ensure crypto assets promotions are fair, clear, and not misleading, and that crypto assets meet the same high standards expected of other payment methods." Lastly, the Advertising Standards Authority was quoted saying, "Crypto assets have exploded in popularity in recent years, but there's a real danger that people may be drawn to invest life savings that they later lose based on poor understanding. We recognize the important role we play in regulating ads to ensure they don't mislead consumers about products, risks, or act irresponsibly in their promotion." The ASA is expected to be publishing new guidance to companies on how they market their assets without breaking the rules. In other news, Shiba Inu holders have a new reason to celebrate. One of its biggest criticisms as a token is how much of a supply that there is. When it was originally created, there were a quadrillion tokens. Now, if all of the tokens were in circulation, in order to hit the $1 mark, it would need to be over 1,000 times more than the current market cap of Bitcoin. Now, it's important to note, however, that not all of the tokens are in circulation. Right now, only about 549 trillion are in circulation. The supply of Shiba is also continually going down as burns happen. In December alone, about 2 billion tokens were burned. Well, to continue that trend, 9 businesses have committed to a burn initiative this year. Shiba Coffee Company, Bigger Entertainment, The Vibe McQuellage, Mark Leon, Precious Paws Save the Fucking Trees, The Shibets, 1/1 NFTs, and Shiba Search. Now that's a hard one to say for some reason. At Bigger Entertainment, artists have agreed to burn 20% of their royalties in Shiba. On January 3rd, they burned 2.75 million, and their co-founder and CEO, Stephen Cooper, has announced that they have burned over 889 million SHIB tokens since the company started its burn campaign in October of 2021. If these burns continue, along with the projects that SHIB developers are working on to bring the token real utility, like their upcoming gaming platform and their marketplace, it could be the most successful meme coin, and the first to switch from a meme coin to something of actual value and not just perceived value. Well, now it's time to shift our focus over to the world of NFTs. One New York-based collector and gallerist, Todd Kramer, fell victim to an apparent phishing scam. Ross and Kramer Gallery had 15 prized NFTs taken from its wallet, including some from the collection's Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant Ape Yacht Club. Kramer quickly took to Twitter, where the community tried to help him find where the pieces went and who they were resold to. OpenSea did step in to stop any further transactions. But overall, $2.2 million worth of NFTs were taken from the account. For all of you gamers out there, Alex Ohanian, co-founder of Reddit, has made an interesting prediction. He believes that in 5 years, the only types of games out there will be play-to-earn games connected to blockchains. On a recent podcast, he said 90% of people will not play a game unless they are being properly valued for that time. In 5 years, you will actually value your time properly. And instead of being harvested for advertisements or being fleeced for dollars to buy stupid hammers that you don't actually own, you will be playing some on-chain equivalent game that will be just as fun, but you'll actually earn value and you will be the harvester. He also said that he thinks in the near future, people will stop caring as much about your given name and will care more about a pseudonym that you make up for yourself. Now, personally, I feel like 5 years is a bit ambitious. I think it will take a lot more time for the trend to really be adapted, especially with so many people still playing on consoles. Will play to earn invade that market as well, especially if people are switching away from consoles in order to be paid for their time? Well, we'll see. And there's also a lot of unknowns in that world. When play becomes work, will people eventually find it less fun? And what will happen with child labor laws and exploitation of children, who are often already fascinated with games? Now, I know every minute of my time I wasn't in school, I was playing games in middle and high school. And with that, who legally gets the money, the kids or the parents? There's going to be some interesting legality that will be developed if play to earn really does take over. Please follow our show wherever you listen to podcasts and leave a review on Apple Podcasts. If you get your podcast on YouTube, be sure to subscribe and leave a comment there. I'm Dustin Knaus, and thank you for joining me today.